Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is July 16th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see that marine layer up against the immediate coastline here. Lots of sunshine elsewhere. Some mid-level moisture could kick off a few thunderstorms over the next few days here, including central and northern California and Nevada. We'll take a look at those details coming up here in a moment. Check out the monsoon moisture bubbling around southern Arizona here as well. Hasn't been making much headway across some of the higher terrain northern Arizona here, but we'll look at that forecast here coming up. This is looking this day in Southern Cal weather history. Look at 1990, 30-minute downpour, 29 palms, 3 feet of water through the streets. Many homes and businesses were flooded and several streets were damaged. They even have the satellite imagery as they usually do. You can see that monsoon moisture moved all the way up towards Northern California here. And also, this can be fire season too. 2003, the Coyote fire started there along the San Diego Riverside County line. Took over $10 million to contain that. So nice stuff here from San Diego, California. 126 at Death Valley yesterday was the national high point, and you can see 31, the low temperature this morning, July 16th. There, you could probably drive to both locations in the same day. Didn't quite get as high as we thought in Death Valley, but 126, nothing to sneeze at there. This is the warm temperatures continuing into next week here for San Diego, California. If you really want to bake and sizzle, get out to the deserts there. And if you want to get a little bit of relief here, go out towards the coastline, but you don't have to go that far inland to get away from those cooler temperatures. And this is looking across Las Vegas out here, and you can see the purple is the extreme, and there's lots of major and moderate heat risk out there. Is this a historical heat wave, really? This is just a prolonged heat wave that's going to set records, especially for Phoenix. I believe we're going to be breaking that record of 18 straight days of 110 plus here as we go through the early portions of next week. This is looking at Phoenix, Arizona right here, talking about the extreme to major heat wave here, and this is again prolonged, and you can see some of these excessive temperatures out there, and it tells you some tips on how to beat that heat out there. And I don't know what you would do down there if you didn't have air conditioning. So nice graphic here from National Weather Service Phoenix. This was put out 2 days ago, but it just kind of shows you the prolonged heat wave. We're continuing this with these excessive heat warnings all the way up through the valleys in California, heat advisories elsewhere, getting pretty close to the coastal regions here, but you do get some relief along the immediate coastline. You saw that marine layer hanging out there. We're not in a full-fledged offshore flow, which really brings the broiling temperatures out to the coastal areas as well. At least we have that, right? This is looking at the possibility for thunderstorms tonight. Time frame 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. You can see it does include San Francisco, the coastal range here, all the way up through Northern California, Redding, Reno, and this will be continuing for the next couple of days as well. Probably pushing off to the east a bit, more favoring the Sierra Nevada and Nevada here as we go through Tuesday, however. Nice graphic here from Sacramento National Weather Service. This is looking at the HER 3KM, just kind of showing you guys a diurnal cycle of the warm up here. Look at these ridiculous temperatures extending all the way up towards Redding, California, across Nevada. Death Valley just in the green there, broiling up towards 125 plus. Cool down overnight is very slight for most areas, not getting much overnight relief here, and then bouncing back big time again tomorrow, kind of rinse and repeat. And we're going to be continuing this heat for several more days at least. This is Flagstaff, Arizona, just kind of showing you we are approaching record heights here at 500 millibars across the area. And this kind of shows it here. You can see the ridge position all the way back over California and off over the Pacific Ocean a little bit. Now what we're looking for is this to push off to the east a little so we can bring some monsoon moisture and some relief. And it does so, but it's still a very strong ridge. And then towards the 100-hour plus period, it kind of backs up a little bit more to the west even. So yeah, I mean, this heat is just going to continue. This is a historical heat wave. Places like Phoenix are going to break that record temperature there. 110 degrees for 18 straight days is the record. That is most likely going down here, folks, as we go on in towards the mid portion of next week. This is looking at the GFS. You can see something similar with just this dominant ridge here. Does move off to the east a bit here. Let's see how much it bounces back to the west, and it does a bit, but yeah, I don't know. This is still pretty well centered over Arizona. So we'll look at some of the precipitation probabilities here coming up through the extended forecast. As we go up far enough in the GFS, it does relax this ridge somewhat. Still, a fairly robust ridge here as we go on in towards the weekend, though. So we'll watch that over the next few days. And let's go ahead and press ahead on into the precipitable water here. You can see it does include some of southern Arizona here, and you can see a little slug of moisture moving up the coastline here, and that's what's going to cause that thunderstorm activity across some of the central California, northern California, Sierra Nevada, and Nevada over the next few days. You can kind of see it move across there and get drug off to the north and east by a trough moving through the Pacific Northwest. But you can see some of this precipitable water starting to include portions of northern Arizona, maybe. This is something that we're trying to see if what's going to happen here. How much of that moisture is going to get up there? Is it going to spawn any thunderstorms north of Phoenix or across the higher terrain? That's kind of yet to be seen right now, but we'll take a look at some more models and what they have to say about that as we go. This is composite reflectivity, NAM3 cam. This goes out 60 hours. You can see some of this activity bubbling across southern Arizona. Not a lot of it, but it's something. And now we go through tonight, and you can see that thunderstorm activity across central and northern California pushing off through Nevada. Here's Monday afternoon, Sierra Nevada east. Look at Nevada. That's pretty widespread precipitation for the summertime here across actually the driest state across the lower 48. And as we go into Tuesday afternoon, you're going to get a repeat of that across Nevada as well. So this could, that's going to be not bad out there. I know that some people will like this precip coming out here. This can be in the form of thunderstorms as well. So watch out for that lightning also. This is total precipitation in inches, national blended models. We're just going to fly ahead here, and you can see some of that activity, and not a lot of precip though showing up. So some of these could be even dry thunderstorms, high-based lightning strikes associated with that. And you see the national blended models did bring some precip here as we go through Tuesday and on into Wednesday across maybe some northern portions here. And this monsoon trying to get going across the higher terrain of Mexico here, but not making too much headway. I mean, a little bit into southern Arizona here. So we'll watch this as we go through the next few days. Here we are 200 hours out, and it is showing a little bit of signs of life here, but not big time events. This is looking at precipitable water, and I wanted to include this one because you can see the Hawaiian Islands out here. Here's Hurricane Calvin, and this thing looks like it's holding together here in some of the models. I mean, look at this. That's a tropical storm approaching the Hawaiian Islands here. Have a few days to watch this, but this would be quite unusual for it to make it all the way towards Hawaii, but it's something I'll be watching coming up here. Now, if I rewind this and replay it, you can kind of see that precipitable water moving up across California there, the monsoon trying to bring a little bit more moisture north across northern Arizona into Utah here as well. But no promises just yet on just how much. The monsoon is just not that active yet. This is looking at 6 to 10 day precipitation probability outlook, and you notice they took away that above average one there. You probably heard me hemming and hawing about that yesterday, and it looks like they agree with me here as we go on into the extended a little bit further, July 21st to July 25th. Kind of just more down towards normal conditions for southern, but still the suppressed signal across much of Nevada, Utah, northern Arizona, and across the deserts of California. This is all the way through July 29th, and they do have this bit across southern Arizona, but it's definitely backed off from what they had yesterday. And again, the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. You guys, I've been talking about this, seems like forever here. This prolonged heat wave is going to continue. This is 8 to 14 day. Again, well above average here across much of the Southwest. This is looking for July 1st to July 15th. You can see California now starting to move to above average for many areas here. Arizona above average, New Mexico, Texas, very warm, Washington, Idaho, and Oregon also above average. And you can see that cooler than normal across some of the plains here, mainly east of the Rockies there. And the Northeast been pretty warm here so far in July also. This is looking from January 1st to July 15th here, and you can see the big yin and yang here. The East Coast has been warmer, and a lot of the Southwest below normal here. We're going to be working on that here with this monster heat wave here over the next few days. So kind of an interesting look on what's been going on so far this year across the lower 48 states. But anyway, yeah, watch out for this tonight. You might see some interesting lightning shows going on across some of the coastal regions, San Francisco, across some of the valley areas. So if you, have the inclination, you might want to stay up late tonight and try to catch one of these thunderstorms across the higher terrain, especially, and on in through Nevada the next couple of days. So it might make for some nice photo opportunities. But anyway, yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow. We'll check out the heat. We'll look at a little bit more detail on just how long this heat wave is going to last and see if there's any relief in sight through the extended forecast. But otherwise, until then, we'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.